Hi, welcome to another episode of Crime Pays a Bonding Does, and I'm here in a beautiful Rust Belt. You can see we got the magic kiosk behind us, and we're here at one of the few prairie sites in western Pennsylvania. It is. We made it through Ohio. It wasn't as chilling as I thought it would be. Kind of went through central Ohio. It was very nice, actually. It wasn't too rough, culturally speaking. Then we ended up in Pittsburgh, did a couple shows in Pittsburgh last night. Now we came to this prairie site to inventory what they got going on. Why is this prairie here when most of the northeastern U.S. is woodland, is generally dense woodland? The prairie is here because when the glaciers were here about 15,000 years ago, just like a bulldozer, they kind of shoveled all the soil off, where they ended up. And so these glaciers, created this thin topsoil condition, shoveling some of that soil elsewhere. So the soil is pretty thin here. It's not deep enough for a lot of trees to get established. You got bedrock and you got hard clay beneath it. So because of those thin soil conditions, you got a lot of this low growing, open exposed stuff. And that's why we get a lot of the species we're getting here, like the liatris, the blazing stars, the helianthus, giganteus, all that shit, etc. It looks fucking great. It's a wonderful day. Let's go check it out. Other thing that's nice about this spot is they allow dogs. I mean, no one's shit canned me yet for having her. She just kind of hangs out. She's supposed to be on a leash, but she's trained. She's professionally trained. Not really, but I did a good job. Come on, let's go. So she's going to stay by me. She's not going to bite any kids or chase any rabbits. She listens to me. All right, so first off, we're going out looking at here. We got all this goldenrod solidago, probably a few different species here. Now, I don't really go nuts over these things. You've seen one, you've seen them all. Generally speaking, most have speciated relatively recently, in quotes, much longer than a human lifespan, but still in a geologic timescale relatively recently. That said, I do appreciate them. I'm just not going to go nuts when it comes to keying them out. This might be Altissima. It's hard to tell. I couldn't tell you. I didn't look. Don't really care. But there's a lot of nice stuff going on here. You can see the pollinators are just going nuts. A lot of cool native butterflies, bees, etc. Goldenrod's a really cool plant. Very aggressive in North America, invasive in Europe, but wonderful here where it's native and it evolved. Now this thing is everywhere. You could see this, all right? I know the genus from out west. We get a different species out there. The genus is Spirea. And as you could tell from looking at them flowers, if you know any of the synapomorphies of the rose family Rosaceae, you are looking at a typical rose family flower. Okay, you got that nectar disc in the center. You have many stamens and you have 5 distinct petals and 5 distinct sepals as well. All right, Spirea alba implying white flower. You can see it's doing very well here, and it's generally open and exposed habitat. All right, there's the leaves right there. You can kind of see, got kind of a dentate margin, which can also be, we don't normally look at leaves when doing taxonomy or plant ID, but with rose family, it's a good giveaway. You can see you get that serrate margin on the leaves, just like prunus, cherry leaves, etc. And many other members of the rose family, Rosaceae, which again is all over the world. Right here we got Helianthus giganteus, the giant sunflower. Helianthus is the genus of sunflowers. This is a species in it, Helianthus giganteus. Since most damn yellow composites look the same, flip that guy over. Look at the phyllaries, long, narrow phyllaries. You got a little bit of pubescence up and down that stem. You can see them stiff little hairs sticking off, but most important here are those phyllaries and the enormous size, as well as the leaf, right? Look at the leaf venation, the texture, all that stuff. So you got an Indian scammer's phone number on my phone. We were having some fun with them earlier in a van. We were trying to kill time during a drive. So if anyone feels inclined to call that number and just start fucking with them, please go ahead. 618-814-4361. Anyway, moving right along, check out the stem. Got a nice color on it, and kind of like a brown maroon, scabbard leaves. You hear that? All right, just like sandpaper. All right, wonderful species. Get that in your gardens. Perennial sunflower gets big as fuck. Let's keep moving. They got an Eagle Scout project bench. I thought that was, going to be like a memorial bench. If someone goes down, sometimes they put a bench up for them. If I go down, I want someone to put a vault toilet up in my name. The Joey Santor Memorial Vault Toilet. That's the best honor you could do me. Look at these goddamn butterflies and all this stuff going on. Oh, is this a viburnum over there? Now you got too excited. Now this is a swamp dogwood, Cornus racemosa. Don't get too excited about these. The opposite leaves threw me off, but that viburnum, which I hope we'll see down there, has a really nice indumentum on them, or a really nice pubescence, like a golden pubescence on the underside of those leaves. But this is just swamp dogwood. These can really get used too much in horticulture. But I guess, you know, you got to roll with them. They're native, they're cool, but I just don't care for them too much. Let's keep moving. Yeah, this is really weird for me to see because I normally associate, you know, the East Coast, especially the Northeast, with woodlands, all right? But this is actually, you know, this is open, exposed stuff, so you got to know something's going on, right? You come here, you see this, figure out something's going on. There's thin soil. Why are there not trees here? What keeps them out? All right, historically, fire probably did that as well, but the main reason all this stuff that is here to begin with is because, again, that soil is thin. Presumably, it was just scraped off by a glacier, and so there's just, it's, you know, not very far to the bedrock. Shit can't get established. There's not a lot of nutrients in the ground, and big stuff cannot grow up. But, you know, why is it different over there? Very interesting stuff. Now, see this one, this is pretty cool. There's another species of spirea. This one, I think, is a little bit more attractive than that other one. They're both kind of bangers, though. Look at that rusty indumentum on the underside of those leaves. This is Spirea tomentosa. You can see it's got them pink flowers, too. Adapting to perhaps a different pollination syndrome, I wonder. Look at that. Just like they just look like little plum flowers, don't they? Like little prunus flowers. How about that? That thing's nice. Does that get used in horticulture a lot? You know, I figure the cult of the lawn is still very ingrained, very deep here on the East Coast. So, you know, but you're starting to get a little bit more native gardens going in. People killing their lawns, doing the right thing, getting rid of the depressing, sick cult of turf grass and putting natives in. But they still got a ways to go. There you go. Look at this bamboo-looking grass. Is a species of panic grass, Dicanthelium clandestinum. All right. Ooh, look at those ridges on the stem. Look at how that leaf is clasping. Look at the nice little bit of pubescence right there too. Dicanthelium is a rather big genus. Unfortunately, there's no inflorescences I could show you. If I could show it to you, you'd probably recognize other species of Dicanthelium. All right, native and pretty common throughout eastern North America and other places too, but eastern North America especially. You don't see too many species out west. Do you see all that stuff? You see all the blazing star, all those little pink spires picking up? That's Liatra spicata. See that? That's some good stuff. God, I see all this eastern North American stuff. You guys get so much rain out here. I just want to set everything on fire, all right? Because it gets too buggy otherwise. I'm not talking about flying insects. I'm talking about chiggers, ticks, etc. I just want to burn everything. You know, end of the season, once it's done growing, once it's dried out, you know, late spring, early fall, whenever. Set it on fire, kill all the bugs, all the chiggers and the ticks and stuff. It's good for the land. That's what native people did, you know, annually out here. I can't blame them. Our species likes open habitats, all right? So I see these woodlands that are all overgrown, and you can barely, well, not here, that's a shitty example, but along the road, you know, dense woodlands, you can barely walk through. I just want to set it on fire. Look at this, another species of dogwood. Is this the same one we were just looking at? Or is this Cornus amomum? I think it might be that. But either way, you can see the flowers have fallen off. That ovary is just maturing. But it's still got the style and the stigma on there. See on some of those flowers? Oh, and you get a little nectar disc as well. See that little yellow shit? Looks like a little yellow donut on top of the fruit. Is that the nectar disc? Is that what that is? Check this guy out too. We got this guy over here. Where'd it go? I just seen it. Oh, Mimulus ringens, the Allegheny monkey flower, right? Which has so many species, so many related species out west, like the Mojave monkey flower, which looks kind of like a butthole, and the Mimulus pictus, now the Placus pictus out there in Kern County. Look at a nice landing pad for the bee pollinators. A zygomorphic flower, that just means bilaterally symmetrical, and a distinct monkey flower calyx, okay? Which will have thousands, well, probably a few hundred, maybe 1,000 or two, tiny seeds inside, because you got an ovary in there. It's a superior ovary. It's enclosed in the calyx once that flower falls off and is done, assuming the thing got pollinated. This should be in every garden. You get that in Illinois too. We get it in Illinois over there, but it tends to like generally wetter areas. Surprised there's no Eryngium. Why is there no Eryngium yuccifolium out here? Let's keep going. You can get comfortable already. See, informational kiosk. Without the informational kiosk, how would you know that this is one of the few places in the eastern U.S. where you can find Mississauga rattlesnakes, right? They also got them up in Canada. They go all the way on up into Canada. I'd love to see one of them. Different genus than Crotalus and the genus that, you know, diamondbacks are in. I'd love to see one. It's too bad, but they're in there somewhere. You know, you got to scurry around on your hands and knees in there. Look at a Vernonia going off. Let's go find one flowering. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Vernonia. Oh, the ironweeds. Is that Nova Borealis or which one is this? Nova whatever the shit you pronounce that. It means New York. New York ironweed. Look at those bright pink flowers. Discoid. You don't have any daisy rays. You don't have any ligules. This is a huge lineage. You get 2 species in Texas that have fuzzy leaves because they've adapted to the dry conditions there, the drought conditions. Vernonia lindheimeri and Vernonia larsenii. Really cool to see. And then it's a huge, the whole subfamily is just big as hell in Brazil. You got some really fucking weird members of this genus, some of which almost look like agaves. They've got a spiky basal rosette and then they send up escape. See that? Spirea alba and Vernonia novaboracensis. God damn, I love that color. Look at that magenta. People always ask me, I live in the East Coast, what should I plant after I kill my lawn? Plant some of this stuff, all right? You like the open stuff? If you have a shady environment, it's a little bit different. Maybe you could put some astrum in there. Wild ginger, no true relation to ginger. It's related to pipevine. Put some astrum in there, some trillium, etc. But if you got open exposed sun, which you should, I would want, at least if I lived out here, put some of this prairie stuff in there. Okay, we got a DYC, we got a yellow comp, a yellow composite. That's code for composite flower, which just means sunflower family Asteraceae. You can see it's a composite flower. It looks like one flower, but it's composed of many individual flowers right in there. You can see each one of those little yellow stars is an individual flower. Anyway, since it's yellow, flip it over and look at the phylaries, those bracts surrounding the involucre, so you can figure out what it is. This is Helianthopsis. Heliopsis helianthoides, Heliopsis helianthoides, all right? Related to sunflowers, but not in the same genus as sunflowers. Diagnostic for this are those opposite leaves, okay? Those phylaries as well as those opposite leaves. Leaves are opposite each other on the stem as opposed to being alternate. One here and then one here on this side, then one here on this side, and one here on this side. Opposite each other on the stem right there, and you got a bunch of flowers up top, and then again, look at those phylaries, right? You got, instead of having 1 or 2 whorls of them, you just got 1 whorl. You got kind of a bulbous cup shape at the base, etc. Bulbous cup shape at the base of that involucre. Here we go. God, I love the prairie. I could never live in Pennsylvania or anywhere east of here because you don't get too many prairies out there. I like the open and the exposed shits. Look at that Liatris. Liatris spicata. See that? You got thin leaves, variations on a theme. There's like 20 or 30 species of Liatris in eastern North America. Linear leaves seem alternating, kind of whirled around the stem, and the flower heads just poke directly out of the top of this apex of this shoot. All right, so it's a flower spike. There's no stalk holding the flower to the shoot. They just come right out the shoot. A flower spike. Look at that. Butterflies are going ape shit over them. You see a bunch of stuff flying around, a bunch of shits flying around. You know, you got the kids throwing shit into the fan, you know. It's a bunch of whites causing a lot of problems out, you know, when they do that. They start fucking with the plumbing, shit in the stairwell, throwing shit into the fan. Look at the Liatris spicata. Come out here, calm down. Look at that. Look at the nice colors, too. Oh, look, it's Andropogon. It's a big blue stem. Oh, no shit. You get Coreopsis tripteris here, too? No shit. Look at that. That's a nice one. That's one of my favorites. A narrow little flagpole. If you live around Pittsburgh, you should be planting all this stuff in your yard. Get full sun, you know? If you got to cut a tree down, especially if it's an invasive, just do it. Get rid of it. See, there's the distinct inflorescences on that big blue stem, that Andropogon gerardiae. Yeah, I did not know they had a... Oh, look at that. Look at that guy. Did not know they had a Coreopsis tripteris around here. See, everybody loves Liatris. What a great fucking genus. Just seen Liatris hirsuta in Missouri. You know, see, if you plant this around, or you live near where it grows, you find yourself needing a mental or emotional enema. You just come out here, you find all these guys, you know, not too hard, just appreciate them. See, sunflower family though, composite family. Same thing that we just looked at with that Vernonia and the Heliopsis, etc. A bunch of tiny flowers, each one of those little pink star-shaped things is a flower ensconced in one vase, like a bunch of flowers in a vase. That's the involucre that holds them together. And then those hairy shits poking out, that's the style. That's a two-pronged, a two-branched style poking out of each one of those flowers. I love this genus so much. I wish we could grow them in the Tamaulipan thorn scrub, but it's just a little too hot. They got a subspecies that grows in West Texas by Big Bend. But even there, it grows in limestone washes or close to limestone washes. It's a little too dry for them. Oh, look at who I bumped into. Look at this guy. Did you see the informational kiosk right here?
You gotta talk to it, because it's gonna talk back to you no matter what it does. Williams Jennings Bryan came here and he found a blazing star.
He was in that Milkman song, wasn't he?
I think he was. They got all kinds of face on here. Look at this eye. It's kind of cosmic. It's kind of like the top of the pyramid. Maybe it's the Illuminati.
That's right. It could be, you never know what's going on, what stuff they're doing in there.
It could be the Illuminati. You ever think about that?
Yeah, see, there's that viburnum. You see that? So you got kind of like a golden pubescence on those leaves. Dentate leaf margin, golden pubescence. They're still opposite on a stem, but you know, the stem looks a little bit different. It's not a green, it's not a smooth. It's got that golden pubescence, little bunch of little tiny golden scale-like hairs. Viburnum lentago. All right. Got to look at those leaves. Even without a flower, all right, the leaves are still, they could be diagnostic enough, all right? You just know the texture, you know the leaf venation, you know the fact they're opposite as opposed to alternate, the margin, all that shit. And then, of course, look at that beautiful golden vein in the center. That's a really nice... Some of the viburnums, they use the shit out of them in horticulture, too. They really beat you over the head with them, but some of them are really nice. Look at this solidago. That's an odd one. Solidago patula, all right? Not sempervirens, or any of the other narrow-leaved ones, altissima, etc. Look at those. Look how big those leaves are, right? And they're basically, they lack a petiole. They're basically sessile on its smooth and maroon-colored leaf stalk. Oh, there you go. There's our native water hemlock, right? Be sure to never confuse this with wild carrot, because this will kill you, okay? In the same family, it's in the carrot family, but deadly poisonous, all right? See, there's the leaves you want to pay attention to. See that? Basically odd pinnate with that toothed margin on the side of them, but they got that compound umbel thing going on. That's the name of that inflorescence structure that carrots have as well. But see how it's more spread out? If it was a carrot, it'd be a lot denser together like that. A little bit flat top too. Okay, we got a couple bangers here. Definitely you want to throw these in any place. You get seeds, plant them around, get them out there. This is Eutrochium fistulosum, okay? One of like 2 or 3 plants known as Joe Pideweed, but these ones get big as hell. As you can see, this is about a 12-foot tall plant. They get absolutely massive, and they got kind of a cone shape to the entire inflorescence, the many inflorescences actually, because there's actually many inflorescences. It's got kind of a cone shape there. Whorled leaves. Look at the leaf texture. Look at that waxy stem right there as well. See, that got a nice farina on there. You can wipe it off with your greasy Italian hands, and then there's all those tiny, not flowers, but flower heads. Remember, this is Asteraceae, okay? This is what looks like a single flower. Is actually an involucre that has many flowers in it, as you can see right there. And Eupatorii, as you can see, all right, with those long styles, those hair-looking things are the styles, right? The same thing in cannabis, in female cannabis flowers. Okay, those long styles which just get pollen on them, and then that's where the pollen germinates and pollinates the ovary at the base of those styles, which is in those involucres. You can see there's a single flower head open right there, and each one of those pairs of white styles corresponds to a single floret. So you've got what, eight flowers inside that that involucre right there. This is going right over your head. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Who gives a shit? Move on. Just, you know, if you care, keep hammering it in. It'll make sense eventually. Monarda didyma. See that red bastard down there? Obviously going for hummingbird pollination. That's a fucking banger in a garden. There's probably a bunch of different cultivars of it. I wouldn't mess with those. I'd like to just plant species instead. All right, better gene pool you're drawn from. It's generally speaking more ecologically beneficial, but whatever. If you get natives in there, at least kill your fucking lawn. It's good enough for me. Really impressive though, especially when you see, you know, because again, that's not just a single flower, that's an inflorescence. You can see there's many red flowers popping out of that inflorescence. It's in the mint family, Lamiaceae, like all the Monarda species. But when you see 100 of these things all together, it really makes, it's a pleasant thing. It's soothing, all right? It's like a soothing balm for the soul, all right? It'll keep you out of the news, keep you from killing someone. Really good stuff. Let's keep going. God, look at that Joe Pye, man. Look at that. Oh, that Eutrochium fistulosum. Why is it fistulose? You can see right there at the base, or at one of those whorls of leaves. It looks like it's trying to send out. Oh, that's interesting. Are those budding inflorescences emerging from those leaf axils? That's unique. But again, look at the wax on that thing. See him wiping it off with my little parmesan fingers. What a great fucking plant. Look at those over there. You get that next to your front door. 12 foot tall, just covered in butterflies. Look at that damn swallowtail over there. See that guy? Oh shit, that's nice. Oh, you got two of them. Oh, I feel massaged already. Take a close-up. Let's take a close-up at those individual flowers that have veronicastrum. See? Look at those tiny flowers. And they got two stamens coming out of each flower, all right? And it's a zygomorphic flower. It's bilaterally symmetrical. See, like that one in the middle? Two stamens, two anthers, and they're sessile. Or do they have a little pedicel? Oh, they got a little pedicel on that spike. Well, it's not a spike then. It's a raceme. But you get the point. Okay, got a lot of good stuff going off here. Okay, we got a silphium, the genus I love so much. This is a variation on a theme, just like prairie dock, same genus of silphium. You can see it's got kind of whorled leaves, whorled and lanceolate leaves, glabrous stem. You can tell it's a silphium when you look at those phyllaries, those rounded phyllaries. See, broad and rounded phyllaries, almost ear-shaped. This is Silphium asteriscus. You see, look at those little florets in there. You got those long styles poking out, and presumably, like most silphiums, it only the marginal florets, the florets in the outer ring, with the ligulate florets, the florets that produce those ligules, the rays, produce seeds. All right, Silphium asteriscus. That's a nice one. Look, you got kind of a red stem too. Right, very few leaves up the top part of the stem. It's got a much more down below, but it's got to get high. It's trying to get tall. See, there's another one right there next to that the Eutrochium, that Joe Pyeweed. This one's cool. Dioscorea villosa. Okay, a member of a genus that often produces edible roots. You got a bunch of species in Asia as well. Beautiful leaves. It's a vining bastard. There's one that grows in arid climates, Dioscorea elephantipe. Sometimes you see that in the arid house of a conservatory or what the shit. It's got a big, that one's got a big tuber that it can resprout from. Dioscoreales, Dioscoreaceae is the family. Liliopsida is the higher taxonomic order, and there's Dioscoreales is a whole. Dioscoreales is a huge order actually of monocots. So this is a monocot. You got parallel venation, right? It's monocot, just like a grass, one seed leaf. Okay. So this is more closely related to grass than it is to any of the eudicots, to anything else here, except the grasses, of course. Either way, it's very cool. Look at that beautiful, look at that glabrous texture of that stem as well. Oh, look, you got fruits on it. I need to get some photos of those. I don't have any fruits of this, pictures of fruits of this species yet. And kind of a heart-shaped base to that leaf, right? Not to be confused with smilax, which is another vining monocot that often has spines and thorns on it. Then over here we got a species of Scutellaria. I'm used to seeing Scutellarias in more arid climates where they only get about 8 to 10 inches tall, and they do not produce big, broad leaves like this. If I saw this in a garden, obviously, it would be obvious to me that it was a more humid and mesic-adapted member of the genus Scutellaria, which has many species in it. Lamiaceae, the mint family. Look, you got a little duck lips calyx right there. So these are ones the flower already fell off, right? That is a fruit. All right, there will be seeds in there. It's a, quote, seed pod, which is just a better way to say it, is it's just a fruit. Okay? It's gonna be a dried dehiscent fruit. Looks like duck lip selfies, all right? Like a duck lips, like somebody got like Botox or a collagen injecting in her lips. They went to like a back alley clinic, got it done. Now they look goofy as all shit, like some of those Facetune apps that people use, all right, to conceal any blemishes. Anyway, there you go. Scutellaria is a pretty big genus, all right? Like I've said, I've seen a bunch of more arid adapted ones. They don't have those big broad leaves, but always pleasant to see, right? And same general theme going on, just kind of like a bilateral symmetrical flower with the duck lip selfie calyx, and it's always tends to be purple or blue. Oh, look at that, same family. Mountain mint, aka Pycnanthemum virginicum, Lamiaceae, the mint family. A verticillate inflorescence, those tiny white flowers. Smells divine, smells like oregano. Opposite leaves, of course, because it's in the mint family, Lamiaceae. Another great one for a garden. See, that's why I'm showing you all this stuff. I want you to kill your lawn. If you live in a region, plant this shit instead. That veronicastrum is so nice. Isn't it? Penstemon family, Plantagenaceae. Oh, look at a native phlox. Obviously Lepidopteran pollinated. See, with that long floral tube, just perfect for a butterfly or moth proboscis to reach down into to get the nectar at the base. And in doing so, coming in contact with all them stamens. A Shingolo, Quercus imbricaria. Notable about this species are the leaves on it, which don't look very oak-like. But you could see those acorns maturing right there, see? So that means that the female flowers that these were. And oak flowers are very tiny. They're very easy to miss when they're actually blooming and waiting for that windborne pollen to get deposited. They're just axillary. They look like 3 little red hairs poking out from the axils of the stems. But Quercus imbricaria, see, there's the leaves. How often does this get planted? This is such a great oak species. Kind of looks like a bay leaf. It's like a bay leaf oak. But it's generally associated with prairies. More sun, you know? Not very shade tolerant. Here's an interesting one. It's not flowering, but you can tell that the flowers were axillary, and it's got an inferior ovary. Those are the sepals still on there. Triosteum perfoliatum. All right, commonly known as feverwort, but I try not to use common names because they're stupid. And also, a genus will have many species in it. You know, learn the genus name, you'll become familiar with the other species. So it's like learning 5 or 6 plants at once. And it's got rather large leaves. These have been gnawed on. Where's a good one I can find for you? See the texture on those? Got a little bit of hairs on top of that. Just growing here at the edge of the prairie. All the solidagos and what the shit. The agrimonia. All right, rosaceae. Right there, a rose family. Look at those little burr. One of the plants that causes those quote-unquote burrs that you get on you. See? But it's got, again, that dentate leaf margin. Almost kind of looks like a strawberry leaf. Dentate leaf margin. And kind of odd pinnate thing going on. Here's a nice evening primrose. Love these open and exposed habitat. Love these open and exposed places. That are so nice. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. Have a good rest of your day. Set fire to your lawn, all right? All right, and don't forget to call those Indian scam artists. It's really fun when they get mad at you. You know, keep them on the phone. Don't let them know that you're on to them. And just keep bullshitting with them, wasting their time until they get irritated with you. It's hilarious. And you just make sure you can hit the mute button so when you're bursting up laughing, they can't hear it. All right, but you know, it's the least you could do for them. All right, also set fire to your lawn. It's good. You know, on a cool, moist day that doesn't have a strong wind, it could be the late spring or early fall. Don't be afraid to set fire to your lawn. Maybe late fall. Right? Let the birds get the seeds and with the shit. Anyway, that's all I got. Have a great rest of your day. Go fuck yourself. Bye. It's nice. You know, it's the little gestures in life that really make life worth living. Now, right here in beautiful Youngstown, Ohio, just growing out of some anthropic rock, that's human-made rock, all right, just a beautiful escarpment of concrete here, we have a species of St. John's wort, all right? The genus Hypericum, of which there's like 300 species, all right? This is the invasive one from Europe, okay? Hypericum perforatum. So you got a similar theme, okay? 5 distinct yellow petals, ovary in the center, and a shit ton of stamens. All St. John's worts basically have the same flower structure, they just differ in the leaves. But you can see it's doing very well for itself, growing out of this big gash in a concrete wall, nice, right? And it's beautiful Rust Belt city. Youngstown's got kind of a hometown feel, all right? Also a little bit of a super fun site feel to it. You know, all those steel plants that were here. Anyway, moving right on. And then right here we got one of my favorite invasive plants, Centaurea stobi, okay, from Italy. When I said favorite invasive plants, I kind of meant that, kind of like taking a jab at it. It was kind of a belittling remark. I didn't really mean it like that. I don't really like this too much, but it's just kind of fun to say stobi, and it is from Italy. It's got a nice chalky mint green color too, indicating it's from a somewhat semi-arid environment, a semi-arid environment like a Mediterranean climate. Again, just growing out of a crack in a fucking rock wall. Look at that. That's kind of nice, though. I do give it that. Everything around here is going to be invasive. If there's any native plants growing here, it's going to probably only a few. All right, these Rust Belt cities. Look at it. Youngstown is kind of nice. It's got kind of like a perpetual New Year's Day feeling, right? Not a lot of traffic through the downtown. Hey, why don't you crack that van open? Let's just give it a whiff. I was impressed. It doesn't smell too bad. It's got like an old man smell to it a little bit. It doesn't smell. It's the cardboard. It's like a mixture of the cardboard and like food scraps and stuff.
You know, based on a Carfax, this was in fact owned by an old man in New Jersey. Hence all the FOP New Jersey stickers on it, which, you know, while I don't agree politically, you know, I will take the benefits of not getting pulled over.
It does smell. Not in a bad way.
No, it has a smell. It does not smell.
There you go.
Right. That's the difference.